Let's see. Am I live? Uh-oh. Hello? I think I am. I'm going to get connected on my phone just to take a gander at if... Holy shit, I'm going up on the big TV. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to have it on my phone as well. Just so... Oh my god, I'm live. I'm going to have it on my phone so I can actually read chat if there's any chatters. We'll wait till there's actually somebody in here before I start spewing some FNAF lore. Okay. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I think if I said it like that, what is up, gamers? I'm just going to kind of vibe for a second. Tell anybody. I'm texting my girlfriend. If you see me smiling at my phone, it's probably because I'm texting my girlfriend. Anyway, we gotta build some freaking sick-ass Legos today. The Lego set of choice is one I wanted to get my hands on for a little while, okay? And I'm so glad I finally did. Oh my god. Got this bad boy retired set, okay? $102 off of Macari. That's a pretty penny, but not for your boy who got some Christmas money from Grandma. Oh my gosh. And then as you can see, we've got some pre-made stuff behind me. Pre-made as in I made it, and so did my girlfriend. We've that'd one to still build back here, the Eiffel Tower, which I might build with her. That'd be really sick if she actually, you know, if we streamed it together, that'd be pretty cool. You can't really see it super well, but we've got Banana Peely up there from Fortnite. This is the Mantis. One of my favorite sets, honestly, is the Bug set. Just a fantastic array of different critters and creatures. It was like $60 for 3 of them, like for 3 different critters. That's a pretty sick deal. I love the Mantis, probably my second favorite of the bunch. Ooh. My first favorite being the Beetle. This set is just, look at that. Look at that little guy. Ignore his wing being fallen down on this side. He's gone through about 4 different moves, so, you know, not the best, but that's okay. Fantastic build, though. I love him with all my heart. Couple other things we've got on the bookshelf. By the way, bookshelf, real life Lego set. I made all this bad boy for my girlfriend for Christmas. I'm very proud of it, as you can probably tell. We've got a couple of like botanical sets, which is kind of like a necessity. We've got one that you can see the orchid, and then back here's the bamboo. I don't want to get it out. This one I will get out because me and my girlfriend just finished building it, and it's... This thing's usually on sale for like $130 something, at least at our local Walmart. And just, that's absurd. That's amazing. For $130, you really can't get any better than that. It's... Shit, I think it's like 1,500 pieces for $130 set. That's insane. Like, its normal price is, I think, $160. If you can't tell, I've been really into Lego recently, so I've got a lot of the builds off the dome of how much they cost. Let's see what else we got. We've got one more. Over here we've got... You can kind of... Yeah, you can see it, so I don't have to move it super much. The amethyst and, like, the different rocks and stuff. Actually, I'm going to move it. Don't tell her. I'll just show you my favorite one, because the amethyst one is really the best in the set. That's so cool. And then we've got, like, some kind of redstone down there. It's just a really cool build for... I think, again, that's another $60 priced one. Oh, what I was going to show, though, We've got a Minecraft crafting table. Like, I don't even know biomes. Really cool set. I got this for the sole purpose of me being depressed, and my mom sent me like $60 because she felt bad that I was depressed, and I went out and I bought this. Let me tell you what, I felt a lot less depressed that night. Oh no, all the pieces. Again, Banana Peely's up there. I don't really want to take him down though because that's scary. He was hard to build. He's also a little finicky, so we're gonna leave him alone. And yeah, let's start building the set tonight. Again, for anyone who just joined, Horizon Zero Dawn, Big Tall Neck. While I'm building him, I'm going to try and keep the stream going because we don't have like a lot of people in here yet. So I don't have any comments to like respond to or really react to. So outside of just, oh, I'm ripping this to hell. Outside of just sitting here in silence by myself and building Lego, I'm also going to be trying to recite or go over the entirety of the FNAF lore from memory. It's not going to be the best thing in the world, but it's going to be top tier. First, we're going to look at our bag layout here. Quite a few bags. Again, this is a $102 purchase, so I'm pretty happy with how many bags we've got here. Weird little antenna. Oh, that does not look good on the mic. Oh, I'm sorry. We're just going to place all those down there. I've got the mic set up really high because so that you guys can actually hear whenever I'm clicking them together. I think that'd be a nice little touch. Oh, look at that! On the back of the box, you actually have like things from the game. Oh, that glare is awful. Holy crap! A little tall neck from the game. That's pretty sick. I like that. I like little details like that. We're gonna see how well I'm able to recite the lore while I'm actively fixated on this, but it's also going to make it so I'm not breezing through this build in an hour, because I'd feel really bad. Because again, this is like one of my favorite sets that I've wanted for a long time, and I don't want to go through it in one night, but we'll see. Okay. Of course, we got to start with booklet 1, which is right here. Okay, so FNAF 1. We'll just start in chronological order. Not chronological order, sorry. That's completely wrong. In game order. So the first one, pretty simple game, honestly. It's pretty special for the time because it had such a, like, wide sweeping appeal to so many people during that time in the YouTube algorithm, so it caught on so fast. Like, Scott Cawthon made the game, and it was the last thing he was going to make. Like, genuinely, he was like, I might not make anything in my life, like, ever. Like, I might not take another breath, kind of depressed, because none of his games were catching on. And everyone hated what he was making. Like, they would make comments about everything he said. And if you know the FNAF lore, I don't care. You're going to hear it all again. Even like the tidbits from real life. I think it's interesting. So, he made, was it Chipper and Sons Co., which is a, like, tycoon-esque game where you play as this little beaver and you run your dad's chipping company. Chipping, as in, like, wood chipping, because they're beavers. That's cute. And this one guy reviewed it on YouTube, and he was just a dick. Like, there was no reason for it. He was just lambasting this. And called the game terrifying, said it was stupid looking. And it honestly ruined Scott's day, or year. Again, he did not want to be here anymore because, someone made fun of his games a couple of times. Oh my god, this game is beautiful. Look at that. Um, oh, it just keeps going. Who the hell is that guy? Um, but eventually he makes FNAF while he's working as a bagger in Dollar General and Target, and he just kind of throws it up. He's like, you know what? If you guys are gonna call all of my games shit, fine. Like they kept calling him terrifying because they were like, oh, it looks like scary animatronics. He's like, okay, fuck you. I'm gonna make a scary animatronic game, and that's where FNAF 1 comes from. Now, here's the thing. When FNAF 1 first came out, it's a story about haunted animatronics, and they're all over the place, and they come and they try and find you and they kill you. That's, if you know anything about Five Nights at Freddy's, you know the basic plot of how the game works, especially like the first one. Thing is game theory was suggested to play the game and make a like review about it. Like he posted on Twitter, what game should I review? It was going to be between Slenderman and Five Nights at Freddy's, and Five Nights at Freddy's won out. Thank God. I don't give a shit about Slenderman. And so it won out, and he played the game, and the theory he came away with was that it was all based on a real-life massacre, which everyone was not very happy about, which is kind of funny, because when I watched the original game theory video, I was like, I don't know, shit, it's some random guy who made a random game about haunted animatronics and a Chuck E. Cheese style thing, okay? Not that crazy of a concept. I don't care if he bases it off a real thing. And everyone was like, no, that's stupid, that's stupid. I just recently watched a video where somebody completely was agreeing with what I said, so of course I'm going to take them at whatever face value they give me, of them saying basically that it for sure was based off of the real-life massacre, because if you're Scott Cawthon and you're making a game completely out of spite, you're pissed off at people, and you hear about a Chuck E. Cheese murder. Like, if you searched up Chuck E. Cheese Scary in 2014 when the game was made, the only thing coming up was the massacre that took place inside of a Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, he probably based it off of that. I don't understand why everyone's like, no, Scott Cawthon would never do that. This is some random Republican man in the Midwest who made a Five Nights at Freddy's game. Why do you think he's infallible immediately? Oh my gosh, I'm not doing well at building this and talking at the same time. But anyway, he kind of... that whole controversy happens. Everyone's like, oh, you're so stupid. Whatever. Bada bing, bada boom. Game Theory makes that video. And then afterwards, Scott Cawthon... First, Scott Cawthon has never confirmed or denied if that theory was true, which makes me think even more that's true. If somebody... one of the biggest proponents in your community says you made a game based off of a massacre and I didn't, I'm going to say that's not true. But he never has, which makes me think even more that it is true. Anyway, in FNAF 1, you play against the core 4 animatronics of Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. That's kind of it. There's not really much that happens in this game. There's one mention of the Bite of 87 that just shows up. I'm going to be honest, I've seen a lot of videos recently from people that are a lot smarter than me talking about how the Bite of 87 was probably just an offhand joke. And the more that I see it, the more I'm like, they're probably right. Like, it's just the Bite of 87. Did you know someone can live without their prefrontal cortex? Or their frontal lobe, sorry. Look at that. That's what I've made so far. This isn't going super well. I think it's just completely a joke. He wasn't taking it too serious, whatever. So, it's now, like, manifested into the biggest piece of lore to ever happen. Anyway, the other things that happened that were notable in that game is, Golden Freddy would appear randomly. That's supposed to be like, oh, even more haunted. It's the first, like, non-physical being that's in your office that's a complete Easter egg. No one knew what it was about. People were just kind of fucking around. Yo, I'll donate 5. Was that the bite of 87? Thank you. That was my performance for the night. But anyway, so the bite of 87, the thing that pisses me off about it the most is Scott Cawthon saw how happy and excited everybody was about the bite of 87, and that there were rumors going around about the game, like if you went into custom night and put in 1987 for the characters, then you'll get jump scared or something. And that wasn't true on the base game of Five Nights at Freddy's. However, Scott Cawthon went in and he made it so it was true. Like he made it so you got jump scared by you guys have all probably seen it, the very infamous 1987 you get jump scared by Freddy's. By Golden Freddy. So that doesn't make any fucking sense if you know anything about the lore. Golden Freddy has nothing to do with the bite of 87. Michael, who you play as, spoiler alert, you play as Michael. You don't even know who Michael is if you're following along so far. I'm going in game order, so you shouldn't know who that is unless you know about the series, which if you're watching this, you probably do. The bite of 87 doesn't have to do with fucking Golden Freddy, so why does it matter? Why? Clearly, it's not. That's another thing, is Scott Cawthon constantly says, my story is infallible. It is constant. I have this planned out so far ahead. If you see anything wrong with it, it's not because I'm bad at storytelling. It's because you don't understand stories. Fuck you. Scott Cawthon, look, I love your games. I love your story sometimes. But no, you don't get to just say shit and then we're like, hey, that doesn't make sense. Actually, fuck you. It's because I haven't released information yet. No. And that's the biggest piece of evidence, because Golden Freddy has nothing to do with 1987. That's been retconned to shit. Anyway, Game Theory comes out, and he's like, oh yeah, Theory, yeah, got 1 bazillion views off of that. Scott Cawthon's like, holy shit, people don't hate my games for once. How about I make a second one? This motherfucker sits down and makes Five Nights at Freddy's 2 in, no joke, like 3 months. He remade what he did in the first one, and arguably better. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is one of the best ones in the series. Like, gameplay-wise, it's hard, it's scary, it's got a great amount of mechanics. Like, it's a fantastic game. He did that in, like, 3 months. That's absurd. But, oh yeah, also, I forgot to mention, in FNAF 1, you, at the end, get fired for smelling bad and tampering with the animatronics. Let me actually start building some of this. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We just got through FNAF 1, so I'm going to try and do a page while loosely talking about it. This is really hard to multitask. I also don't know FNAF World Best Game. Oh my gosh. What kind of crack are you smoking? Look. FNAF World is a very interesting game, and it is good for the psyche of Scott Cawthon. Before Five Nights at Freddy's, he made a shit ton of games. A lot of them were like basically all Christian-based nonsense. Not nonsense in like I don't believe what he's talking about, but like they were just very 2000s looking. I don't care about them, except for he made a couple of like actual games, like the Desolate Hope, where he talked about, and where the fuck is this piece? Dude, I'm looking for the first piece. Oh my god, it's right there. I'm so blind. In the Desolate Hope, you play as this little coffee machine that walks through and you get upgraded. It's basically FNAF World, except for before FNAF happened. And it's a stunning looking game. I don't know anything about it other than how it looks, but it's pretty impressive that it was all made by him. It just didn't gain traction. So I think it's important that FNAF World happened so that Scott Cawthon was able to let his Desolate Hope juices flow, and he had an outlet for something that he was clearly very passionate about. Have you seen Scott's older game? Yeah, the Desolate Hope, yeah. Dude, okay, Desolate Hope's great. It's just like, I don't know. It's weird. Um, like the game isn't weird, but the way that it interacted with FNAF World was strange because that's the only reason FNAF World was made was because the Desolate Hope was something he was clearly very passionate about. Passionate about? Well, that's not correct. Oh my god, did you guys hear that? I don't know how well the clicks are coming through when I'm not speaking. That is. Here, let me find a good juicy piece and click it on. Oh my gosh. That looked like it reverberated. Um, we'll get to FNAF World later in the series in my talk. But for now, we're moving on to FNAF 2. So FNAF 2 comes out, and immediately it diverts expectation because you're set in what seems to be a future Freddy's location for a variety of reasons. The biggest one being that there's toy animatronics that are like futuristic versions of the core four that we saw from the first game. And then there's withered animatronics, which seem to be the core four from the last game that are all withered away and they've been thrown in the back. Nobody cares about them anymore. And yet, you play through and you notice a few things that seem off considering it's supposed to be in the future, which all culminates in, oh shit, FNAF 2 all is set during 1987, during the bite of 87, because again, that's the only thing Scott Cawthon had on the games at all yet. He was like, shit, I don't know where to take this story. I mentioned one thing about the bite of 87 in the first game. I guess that's where we're going next. But it was a good turn. It was a good, like, surprise, because you don't find out till, I think, night 6, because you're hearing about murders and stuff, and this is where we get confirmation that there's a murderer that is actively happening. There's one single person that is going around murdering people, which this is all speculated on in FNAF 1, which killed all the children and put them into the suits. That was the whole thing of like, oh, how did shit happen? And the suits are coming, the ghosts are coming to put you in a suit. That was the whole part of FNAF 1. FNAF 2, it's like, oh shit, there is a murderer, and he's going around killing kids. But we can't, well, we don't know who it is. Anyway. These robots in this ship. Brother, we haven't been talking about Desolate Hope in like 6 minutes. We gotta talk about Desolate Hope. I need it. But oh my gosh, you're distracting me with your Desolate Hope talk. So FNAF 2, there's a guy, and this is where we're starting to see like the after death games, which are telling a story, which is the first time we're seeing anything of like substance, where they're like, this is lore, here's information about the universe, and it's all like arcade style, which asks a few questions of, are these real arcade cabinets that are hidden in the Five Nights at Freddy's location? Like, why do we have arcade games about dead children hidden around the place? And very interesting. But we're playing as a guy, and at the end of night 6, they say, "Oh yeah, we need you to come in for like overtime, because we need someone to come in for this party in the morning." So you're working a 6-hour shift, and then you're going in for a morning shift. That's fucking absurd. That's too much work. Oh, that is actually really cool. I did not know that about that. Oh, okay. I will have to check out the Desolate Hope and actually look into like the story, because it does seem like a very interesting story. But FNAF 2, there's a guy, and he's the purple guy, and some killer fucking songs come out of FNAF 2. Let me tell you what. This is Man Behind the Slaughter comes out. Don't know what I was thinking, leaving my child behind. And just an absolute banger. Just from FNAF 2 because they saw a purple guy's going around killing kids and they're like, shit, I've got a great idea for a song. And you know what? It slaps. But we learn a lot from this game. Anyway, the guy you're playing as gets called in for overtime in the morning on the 6th night. You go in, and on the 7th night, you're playing as a different security guard. Because that first security guard you were playing as was the Bite of 87 victim. He's the one. The person you were playing as at the beginning of the game, he is the bite victim. He gets his fucking frontal lobe bitten off. We don't know who by. Canonically, it's never been confirmed. But it was most likely Mangle. Because when Mangle is attacking you in FNAF 2, it's such good storytelling. I know I shit on it because objectively it is bad at sometimes. And he says he's infallible, which he's not. And he's just making shit up as he goes. But when you're getting attacked by Mangle, she's on top of the roof, and then she lunges at your forehead. So she's definitely the fucking bite attacker, whatever. Attacker, I hardly know her. Yeah, no, I am aware of your fixation for this game. We've talked very little about it, but I think we've talked enough for me to know. But very interesting that the person you're playing as, and it's like almost a Saw moment where in every one of these games there's like a twist almost of, oh, you thought you were playing in the future? Just kidding. This is the past location. Just pretty cool. And the person you play in on the 7th night is also Michael, which we'll get into later. I just have to kind of point it out for now. Because when I say later, you're Michael, that's not going to make any fucking sense if you don't know, if I don't say it now. So, finally, FNAF 3 comes, and we know from FNAF 2 now that there's a murderer, that the puppet exists, and the puppet's putting all of the dead kids' souls into the various animatronics, and that we were playing in the past, and so everything we experienced in FNAF 1 actually happened after FNAF 2, and now FNAF 3 that's set like 30 years in the future. We don't know what year. I don't care what year. I just like the games. So you're sitting there, you're playing FNAF 3. FNAF 3 is one of, if not the worst games in the series. It is good for showing off the design of Springtrap, and that is all. Like, it's good as the end of a trilogy, because that's what FNAF was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a trilogy, with the last game being FNAF 3. And you can see that because FNAF 3 is a, like, subversion of expectations of, from before you were playing against a wide variety of characters that were coming to attack. Now it's just one guy. This is a one-on-one boss fight that you're having for 5 nights at Freddy's. It's actually 7 nights. It's always like 7 nights. That's a week. Let's see. I'll make it yellow. But, I don't know. It's objectively a bad game. You just sit there, and there's phantom animatronics, which means you might be dreaming. Then dream theory happened. We're not getting into dream theory. I fucking hate dream theory. Like, his manhunts were pretty good, but not really good in the FNAF. That was so stupid. So, my mom actually met Dream in real life recently. Not to brag. I don't think that's anything to brag about, but not to brag. So, you fight against him in FNAF 3. It's revealed that he is the killer, Springtrap is the killer, and instead of end of death minigames from FNAF 2, it's end of night minigames, so you're always going to see it at the end of the night, and it just reveals that Purple Guy was chased into a back alley. He gets into one of the wet spring lock suits that he was previously using to murder children, and he gets in it, and he fucking seizes up, and the spring locks snap on him, and he's dead, but he's also, like, not. And then Remnant comes into play. We're not going to talk about Remnant. Actually, we might talk about Remnant. We're not talking about it right this second. So, he gets spring locked in, and he's fucking... And he gets up, and he's like, I always come back. And those fucking ghosts are like, bitch, I don't care. And they slam the door on him. He gets locked in the back of FNAF 1 for 30 years, like I said. And he just kind of sits there and rots until the FNAF 3, like, workers who are putting on the haunted attraction that you're working at, that's Fazbear Frights, that's what the game takes place in, instead of Fazbear Entertainment. So, they find it, they bring it in, and they're like, oh, this is a real haunted thing. Isn't this pretty sick, dude? That's exactly how they say it. Phone Guy's a surfer dude in this. It's pretty sick. So then you, like, have your full-on boss fight. I think the first night, because he's not actually there on the first night, it's like a freebie, which is kind of cool. I like when they kind of let you experience the controls without having to worry about any threat the first night. I think that's kind of a cool thing that this game did. I'm really trying to find any reason to compliment this game, even though it's objectively the worst in the series. God, I am building this so slowly. For anybody who's here for the Lego building, I'm sorry. I apologize. This is me apologize. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, and you do the one-on-one boss fight against him. And from what I've heard, because I've not played this game, I've only seen people play it, and it's a boring-ass game to play and watch people play. I just don't care for it. What the fuck? Oh, I put it on wrong. Shit. There we go. I've almost got something cool to show you guys, I promise. I keep losing my train of thought. This is really difficult to do. Holy shit, that's so cool. I bet you guys could wish you could see what I'm doing right now. Okay, I'll give you a sneak peek. Look at that. It's a little like dinosaur. Fuck, what were these called? Like the Watchers or something? From the game that I'm building the thing from. Dude, my brain is mush right now. I also worked a 9-hour shift before doing this, and I spent an hour trying to set up stream, and it just wasn't working. I crashed out really hard because I was trying to find out why my mic wasn't working. I literally sat there for an hour. I did everything. I contacted Microsoft for support even. Like, it was bad. Turns out I just had the button for my microphone turned off on my computer. Like, my computer microphone has an off switch, and I guess I pressed that at some point. So all that for no reason. Anyway, FNAF 3 game ends. You burn down the place. Everybody's soul is put to rest, but not actually. The good ending, which is what you get if the fire happens, is not the canon ending. This is the first time we see multiple endings. I'm quite sure. I might be wrong, but if I am, don't tell me. I don't want to know. And the place gets fucking demolished. It gets burned down, but we hear, I always come back. And again, this is supposed to be the final game. It's supposed to be left on kind of a cliffhanger, but the souls are put to rest. Okay? We know that. Souls are put to rest. There's no reason. Look at that. He's finished. Second little guy finished. Where'd you end up putting the... Oh, it's upstairs right now. It's in the room. Just realized it's Fridays. Shit. What was I gonna say? Oh, but it's supposed to be the final ending. And you know what? The game is objectively bad. It's not scary. But at least it has a decent ending of a fire happened, everybody's dead, whoop-de-doo, we're all happy. But no. Scott Cawthon, in his infinite wisdom, said, you guys didn't really like it, so what am I gonna do? Fuck it. Let's run it back. We're gonna do FNAF 4, What is it going to be called? The Final Chapter. FNAF 4 The Final Chapter is, I can assure you, not the final chapter. It's a very wide departure from FNAF, all of them, because you play as a little kid who's in his room hiding away from nightmare versions of all of the animatronics. This game is so hard to talk about. You guys have no idea. It's... I mean, if you know the FNAF, if you've been in the community, you have an idea, but you have no fucking idea. The mental struggle I go through daily because of FNAF 4. Scott Cawthon saw that everybody solved all of his little Easter eggs from FNAF 1 through 3, and he was like, you know what, you guys did it way too fast. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make it so fucking hard for you to figure out any of the lore in this game that you just won't, I don't know, it's going to take you more than a month. He waits 1 month. He lets Game Theory have his way with it. He lets every single small creator have theories on it. There's the cat. You see that? You see that black shadow that just moved? That's the fucking cat. Hi, kitty. Oh my god, she's so cute. You guys wish you could see this right now. You can't. Anyway, so he makes FNAF 4. Nobody does it right. Nobody can figure out what's happening in the story. So what does he do? He says, I'm not going to tell you. What? What? How are you going to release a game? Okay, let me get into the actual game, okay? The end of night / end of death minigames that you play in this one are the most important in the entire series. I stand by that heavily. You see a little kid, which you presumably play with, are playing as, and we don't know that fucker's name. He is a crying child. The crying child, possibly. I don't know. And he's a little bitch. His only friends are his stuffed animals, which are the Five Nights at Freddy's stuffed animals, obviously. He's got a brother who scares the shit out of him with a Foxy mask. He hates Foxy because his brother dresses up as Foxy. And he's got a little sister who's roughly the same age, who she's not important right now. And his dad is also the owner of Five Nights at Freddy's. Duh, idiot. In this game, though, we find out that he's afraid of him. Eventually, he sees a guy get stuffed into a Five Nights at Freddy's costume, and he thinks, holy shit, somebody's dying, but nobody's dying. This is set way in the past, okay? This is set before, like, every other game, even FNAF 2 at this point, which nobody knew at the time, which leads to the very infamous clip of Markiplier reacting to the bite of 87, but it was actually the bite of 83. Fucking stupid. But basically what that is, like I said, the crying little bitch, he's crying, as usual, and his brother and his friends lift him up into the head of Freddy Fredbear, the Golden Fredbear, the Golden Freddy. And they put him in the mouth of Golden Freddy, and he cries, and the spring locks lock up, and it fucking chomps his head, and he dies. What? That I don't know. I just remember seeing that and being like, that's so fucking cool. That's so scary. Like, the thought of your brothers are just fucking around with you, and then he has the murder of you on his hands. After this, the family kind of falls apart, obviously. The dad freaks out. He kind of hates your brother, and he also keeps saying, I will put you back together. I will put you back together. He doesn't put you back together. Well, not in a way you might think. Anyway, I'm trying to think of where to go from here, bro. This lore is so convoluted. I'm just going to tell you who the people are. Basically, the people are the crying child. The brother is Michael, who's the one you're playing as in all the other games that we've previously talked about. You are Michael in all the other games. The father is William Afton. William Afton is the purple guy, is Springtrap, is the murderer, the bad guy. So, in all the previous games, you are the brother, and your father is the one who's like the big bad that you're following, I guess, and you gotta read the books, real lore, bro. Okay, the books are not the real lore. Let me tell you right now. I've watched a 36-hour-long video on the books, and I know for a fact that the books are bullshit lore, not connected to the storyline in the game. So, sorry. I'm very passionate about the books, and how much they're not the real lore. Where am I? Oh, okay. So, yeah, and then the little girl is there too, but that doesn't matter. So now I'm going to tell you the actual story of Five Nights at Freddy's and how it like kind of starts, because this is where the like real shit locks in and we start hearing information, and this is where like an actual real story could be found. And Scott Cawthon did something kind of good here. So the story goes is the first ever death in the Five Nights at Freddy's universe is of the crying child, which is named Evan or Dave or David, depending on who you ask. It doesn't matter. I don't care. All I know is he cries and he's a child and he dies. Who is killed by his brother due to a spring lock failure at a Five Nights at Freddy's location. Again, the dad, who is one of the owners of Five Nights at Freddy's, is a co-owner with Henry Emily. Henry Emily is the roboticist, where William Afton is more of the businessman. So Henry designed all of the like spring chops, spring lock suits, or whatever, as we know of right now. So he goes, he does that, and that's when the crying child is killed by William Afton. Not William Afton, sorry, Michael Afton. Too many Aftons. Michael, his brother, puts him in there. He cries. Spring locks lock up. He dies. Holy shit, what the fuck? William Afton, of course, blames Henry because it's Henry's design. So he's like, fuck you, Henry. He doesn't say that to Henry. You know what he does? Also, by the way, all of the Afton, like, the whole family, they're British. So anything bad I'm about to say about them is warranted because they are British. Let that be known. British people are objectively less important. So, this British fucker goes and he kills Henry Emily's daughter to get him back for faulty design. What? That is the most strange escalation of things that you can do. That he goes outside, he locks Henry Emily's daughter outside of the pizzeria, and like drives by and kills her. And then the puppet comes out, finds her body, and that eventually is what goes on to possess the puppet, is Henry Emily's daughter. And you get hyperfixated Fallout lore. No, bro. Withered Bonnie! Holy shit, is that the real Withered Bonnie? Withered Bonnie's my favorite character in all of FNAF. I'm not joking. This isn't a bit because you just joined Withered Bonnie. Literally my favorite character. I love Bonnie. Bonnie's so cool. Withered Bonnie's better. So, what am I on right now? So he kills Henry Emily's daughter to like go back, and he realized, holy shit, Henry Emily's daughter fucking possessed the puppet. Possession's real? What? Ah, God, I gotta experiment with this. So he goes ahead, and again, this motherfucker doesn't make the animatronics, but somehow he develops the ability to just make animatronics. And this is when he makes Circus Baby. Circus Baby is a big clown that's got a giant hatch inside of her stomach that goes out with and kills kids. And like, that's the whole point of it. It counts how many kids are in a room, and it makes sure so there's no witnesses, and it kills them. So he wants to experiment with like all of the different kinds of remnant, it's called. That's how possession happens, and it's like haunted metal, and it's through agony. We're not going to get into that because that's mostly books, how we know that. And again, books are not fully related to the story. We're not sure what part of it's real. Anyway, we're just going to call it possession. He wants to experiment with possession, so he makes this bot to kill a kid and have it possess the bot that killed it. He does this, And his dumbass lets his daughter go to a party that has baby at it. If you make a murderous animatronic, maybe you shouldn't put it within the vicinity of your daughter. Just don't let her go to that party. It's really not that hard, but he's an idiot. And I think that's mostly because he's British. So, he goes ahead, he does that, he loses his daughter. I don't know if he's distraught, but he's definitely not happy about it. And so all that's left is his son, who killed his other son, who he's not like a giant fan of because of the whole killing his other son. Listen to this. Oh my god. So he kind of freaks out. He does his own thing. He's like, man, you know what would be even better, since both of my like important younger kids are dead? What if I just start killing other kids? You know, she die. So true. She do die. And what if I start killing other kids? And that's how we get the core 4 animatronics of Bonnie, the most important, Foxy, Freggy, Chiga. He kills 4 kids, and their remnants get put into the body of the 4 animatronics, and through way of the what's it called? The puppet. The puppet does it. So that's pretty cool. That's how everything happens. And might I add, the only reason that most of the animatronics are coming to kill you in like a lot of these games is because you are Michael, the son of William, so you look a lot like your dad, and they're like, you're that fucker who killed me, aren't you? I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna fucking kill you. Except for with FNAF 2, you're playing as some random security guard that has nothing to do with, like, anything in FNAF. So, I don't know why they're trying to kill you, really. I don't know. Maybe, because you're wearing the security guard uniform. That's right. Again, this is all from memory. I'm just kind of going. I'm also making a FNAF video tomorrow. So, if any of you are interested in this topic and hearing my actual opinions rather than me just rant, please check out that video. That'll be coming out hopefully within the week. Like, I mean, I've got to make one for class anyway, so hopefully that is what I make very soon. So, where are we at? Holy shit, these are some big pieces. He does that, and so your dad goes on a killing spree. He's like, William, who is you from now on? That's what I'm going to refer to. You oh, shit, no, you're Michael. William's the bad guy. Sorry, lots of names. It's actually only 2 names. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, you are Michael from now on. William's your dad. William is Springtrap. William's the killer. William's purple guy. William is evil. You are following after him years later after the death of your brother and your sister, and you're aware of all of the kids he killed, and you're trying to follow after him and put an end to him, basically. So that recontextualized the entire series of FNAF 1, you were trying to find him. FNAF 2, you were, like, at the beginning of his murdering spree. In FNAF 3, it was a true boss fight, not only between security guard and ultimate evil, but father and son. And it's chef's kiss, great, amazing recontextualization, but nobody figured that out. Also, key mention, at the end of FNAF 4, there's a little lockbox that is locked, and it just says some things are better off kept, like, forgotten. That's the dumbest shit ever. Scott Cawthon has admitted that he doesn't know what was in the box, and that he will never reveal what was in the box, and also that whatever was in the box has changed over the years. It is one of the dumbest mysteries I've ever seen in any piece of media. But whatever, you know, I don't even care. I'm not even that upset about it. It's whatever. So nobody figures out anything about this game, and Scott Cawthon's like, you know what I need to do? I need to make another game, FNAF 5 Sister Location. What's this game gonna be about? I don't know. One second. Oh no, she said goodnight. Sorry, I got a text her. Good night. Okay. Okay. So, where are we at? Okay. So, FNAF 5 comes out, and this is like nothing like any of the other games. The other ones, you're sit in a room, and shit's coming at you left, right, center. And, okay, let me back up. FNAF 4, I forgot to mention, you're playing as the little kid, but you also might be playing as Michael, having nightmares about what he put his brother through. That's why I said, I fucking hate this game, and, like, it doesn't make any sense, and it, again, creates dream theory, which I hate dream theory with all of my heart. The fact that it was ever a possibility, the fact that the fans ever thought it was a possibility, the fact that Scott Cawthon even kind of twit around with, what if we made it all fucking dream theory? Dream theory is just everything's a dream. If you put any piece of media that I care about and you have the revelation be everything was a dream, I hate you. I hate you. Don't do it. I hate you. If you are hearing me now and you are passionate about making content in any form and you make something that I personally am invested in, don't do that or I will hate you. That's the end of that. So FNAF 5 comes along. And FNAF 5 is very different because not only are you sat in one room, but you're actively exploring the entire complex of the sister location. This is where we meet animatronics like Baby, which we talked about earlier, and this is how we find out that Elizabeth, the daughter of William, got killed by Baby, and he's just like a crooked guy. This is where we find out they're British. This is important because we have a reason to hate them now other than killing. Michael is like one of the only good British people to ever exist because he's trying to stop his dad. Kind of losing steam here, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, there we go. I'm trying to also make sure I'm building. That did not make a sound. Ooh! I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but it's showing up in the little dial that there's like sound popping up. So I don't know. It's a kind of interesting game. I think it's important for what comes next in the series of like what it creates of a free roaming game, where this one is not a free roaming game, but it like toys around with the idea of holy shit, maybe I'll be able to explore a Freddy's, which is such a cool concept. Just being able to explore this haunted location. It is a little bit risky because the more you know about something, the less scary it's going to become, of course. So letting people explore is a little bit, can be dicey, and that's what leads to people not liking games like Security Breach, because it's not really scary whenever you can defend against it and you know everything about it and you can see everything. Getting ahead of myself. Sister Location's an interesting game. Nothing really happens. You're playing as Michael again. You're always playing as Michael. When it's set in the timeline, don't ask me that again. Ever. Please. That is the worst question ever. That's worse than... No, it's not worse than Dream Theory. It's pretty bad, though, because I've got no idea. Because it's, like, futuristic, but it also heavily implies that it's not in the future, but in the past, again. They have no clue how electricity works or time works, clearly, in this franchise, because they're just throwing shit around willy-nilly. What even happens at the end of the game? How does it end? You beat everybody. Oh my god, this is so important. I'm so sorry. You talk to Baby throughout this game, which is your sister, which I don't know if Michael knows if it's his sister or not. He probably does. But the Baby definitely doesn't know who you are. But you trust her because she's like a talking animatronic that like is fully speaking to you and telling you what to do to save yourself. And it all eventually culminates in you going inside of a suit. And she's like, be quiet. We don't want the repair people to know you're here. And you're fucking around in the suit for a while. She's like, actually, we're going to make a detour. And you make a detour to the scooping room. Now, you might think that sounds scary. And it's because it's fucking terrifying. The scooping room is where you get your inside scooped out. That's not good. That's not good for a living, breathing human. But Baby's a little fucker who goes and teams up with the other cast of Fun Times, which is the animatronics in this game. This is like Ballora, Foxy, Freddy, and Baby. Those are the Fun Times. The thing is I don't really understand them. Baby should be the only one who's haunted, but the other ones might also be haunted by different kids that died. There's so many groups of kids that died, and all of them are haunting an animatronic, and their motivations are so fucking unclear. Anyway, what the fuck? Okay, I got it. So I also should probably keep this up here so you guys can actually see what it is I'm building. But it's so convoluted constantly. I know I keep saying that. But Baby goes inside of you. Your sister goes inside of you. I use that wording intentionally because what the fuck is happening at this point? She combines with all of the other dead children, possibly, the other animatronics, and they scoop your insides out, and they tunnel inside of you until you're like a hollow husk that is holding all of them in. And Michael, who again you're playing as, who just got hollowed out, is still conscious. Like, he's not in control, but he can still feel and see everything that's happening around him, which is really fucking horrifying. Of an idea that, like, that's awful. Why would they do that? What is happening? Oh, another piece is put on top. So, Michael's hollowed out, he can feel everything that's happening, and over time, he becomes completely purple. And for people who are not aware of what's happening as this game is released, because nobody knows you're playing as Michael again, nobody knows anything about the story at this point, so they're all just seeing, oh, this guy is a purple guy who is turning purple for this reason. Do you think that maybe that's the purple guy? Nope, it's not the purple guy. Why? Because Scott Cawthon wanted to trick you, and that is the only reason. That's it. Because Purple Guy the murderer is metaphorically purple because he lives in the shadows. Purple Guy, the person, the Michael Afton, is purple because he's hollowed out and he's nasty. That's kind of it. That's it. Eventually, the body becomes so, like, corrupted and bad because it's, not a functioning human body anymore. Oh, I'm stretching. Ooh. It's not a functioning human body anymore. So what does he do? The amalgamation of animatronics that are inside of him leave the body, and they form into one conglomerate animatronic called Ennard, who's like this spaghetti guy. He's kind of cool. I'm kind of I have no real opinions on Ennard. Let's just leave it there. But Michael is now this husk of a man that is purple, that has his insides hollowed out, laying on the ground dead. Is he not just dead? He's not just dead. He's not just dead. Remember how I said agony and like how we weren't going to talk about it? We're still not going to talk about it, but he's still alive because he had the remnant of all of the kids inside of him. That's a sentence. And it's, I don't know. He comes back to life. He stands up. He's like, okay, I'm just purple now. I'm purple. I smell like shit. And I need to go find my dad because I blame him for what's happening. Because it is his fault. So that's why in, like, FNAF 1... So Sister Location definitely takes place before FNAF 1. Maybe even before FNAF 2. That's iffy, though, because when you get fired, it says that you smell bad. You smell bad because you're a fucking rotting corpse that is purple. And you're also, like, fucking around with the animatronics to see if there's dead bodies inside of it, and like that's why you're doing it, because again, you're after your dad. So far, very confusing, unnecessarily so story, but it's there. It's interesting. FNAF 6 comes along because FNAF 5, I don't even think Scott was trying to make it his last game. The FNAF 3, 4, were both supposed to be FNAF, like, final games. FNAF 5 wasn't even trying. FNAF 6, however, he was trying, and he said, this is, like, the for real, on God, like, on God, baby girl, this is the final game that I'm making in the series. So he goes, he tries to make it, and it's great. It's great. Pizzeria Simulator is a very fun game. That's one of the only FNAF games in the old era that I've actually played because I like the tycoon aspect. It's not super scary, but it's fun. There's a fun little part where you get to like bring in the animatronics that you want, which can come in on their own through like a risk factor meter or through you like interviewing them and saying, "Oh, is this haunted? Yeah, it's haunted. I don't care. Get in my restaurant." So it's interesting. The biggest thing from this game is that they changed, like, biggest negative is that they changed all of the animatronics designs like heavily. The puppet goes inside of like a Freddy Fazbear that's black that is called Lefty. That's like it. I don't know why she does this other than to maybe mask herself. That's it. Baby leaves Ennard and becomes on her own, and she looks different. Springtrap looks like shit. Lore-wise, there's no reason for him to look different. Like, he is anatomically a different character entirely, and there's no reason for it canonically. But Scott Cawthon just said he wanted to one day, and it just looks like ass. I don't like it. Nobody likes it. Whatever. I really don't care. Some people will, like, shoot your mom if you say you like this design. I don't care that much. I think it's a bad design. Womp womp. Oh well. Anatomically correct. Shmamamamally correct. So, that's part of the game. But overall, I like this game. And has the best ending of all the games by far. Like, this is clearly supposed to be a final entry in the series. It ends with the monologue, Henry talking to all the animatronics saying, "Put down your soul," and this is where you get the very famous, "Into you, my friend, into one of you, the deepest pits of hell have opened, so don't leave the devil waiting, old friend." Oh my god. It's Henry talking to William, who killed his daughter, and put all these people through it. He devised this place, this pizzeria, to lure all of them together so that he can set all of their souls to rest, except for William's, who is going to hell. Great ending. Absolute cinema. Like, genuinely, if I could re-experience that for the first time, I would in a heartbeat erase my memory so I can just re-experience that. It's great monologue. Great ending to the series. No notes. Let's leave it there. How about that? That was not enough. Scott Cawthon wasn't happy with it. So, we just kind of have to say fuck it and experience more. Oh my gosh, I missed a whole bunch. Guys, what am I doing? The fuck am I doing? Oh. Okay, I got it. Scott Cawthon was like, that's not enough. We need one more entry in this, like, this final thing. Honestly, I'm not upset about it because it created Ultimate Custom Night. Ultimate Custom Night has very little lore relevant information in it. It's more of just you get to play against all of the animatronics again, and it's really unique because you can play against all of them at once. And that's kind of it. But you do learn that you're playing as William in hell, in purgatory, being tormented by all of the souls that he ended up killing. I think really strong, not necessary piece of media, but really cool that they went back and they cared enough to, like, okay, we're going to make this so that you can play through and defeat all of the enemies, while also giving that final bit of lore. I think that was cool. Again, not super necessary, but cool. Here we got this. Got a little archway. Put it... Oh, shit. Put it right there. Yeah, nothing really happened from that. And then Scott Cawthon got homophobic and racist. Um, what? Yeah, it was leaked that he gave, like, and again, Five Nights at Freddy's is, I don't know why I said again, I haven't said this before. Five Nights at Freddy's is full of very gay people. Like, not even making fun of anybody. That's a large community of Five Nights at Freddy's, is gay or neurodivergent people. And Scott Cawthon was using his millions from Five Nights at Freddy's to give money towards Trump administration for the re-election in 2020, I think. I think that was the whole thing. And that was all leaked. And people lost their minds. I'm not going to put my opinion on it, but it is kind of funny that the guy who's got a whole army of gay teenagers was donating to very homophobic shit. Maybe don't do that. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, so this happened. He finds out. I lost a viewer from that. He finds out, and everybody finds out, and they're like, shit. I don't know if I can support this guy. He's like, wait, guys, keep supporting me. Keep giving me money. You know what you could do is I'll sell my company to someone else, and they'll keep making the games, and I'll keep getting money, and I'll keep telling the story. Even though I finished the story, I'll keep doing it. How does that sound? Okay, cool. We'll do that. So he sells it to Steelwool. And this is where we get into the newer era of Five Nights at Freddy's, which starts off with just Help Wanted. Help Wanted, I don't love for one reason, because it's a very inoffensive game. It's just a VR port of most of the first FNAF games, like everything that came before it. I don't love it because at the beginning it says that everything that happened in the FNAF series before it was fake, and that's like in-universe propaganda. However, people truly think that in-universe propaganda is real, and don't think that anything that happened in the first games was real. So, he propaganded too hard. Which is coincidental for what I just said beforehand. Anyway, again, FNAF Help Wanted comes out. It's inoffensive. Nothing really comes of it except for there's like a glitchy Springtrap that everyone's like, holy shit, I thought Springtrap is dead. Springtrap is dead. However, for some reason he came back, or that's what we're seeing, is there's like a green version of him, but he doesn't look right, and it's like, what the fuck's going on? Okay. The only important piece of lore information from this game is that they used beta testers for this game that's supposed to, like, kind of make light of all of the situations that happen in FNAF 1 through 7. And they use some of, like, the data from this chip inside of one of the Five Nights at Freddy's suits. That Five Nights at Freddy's suit is the Springtrap. So Springtrap, like, comes to life as an AI mimicry version of Springtrap, but, like, it's not the soul, it's just kind of there. It's really stupid. I'm gonna be honest, I really can't stand this era of Help Wanted. Was just so fucking convoluted and made no fucking sense, and I'm sure in the broader context it does. It's just such a bold departure from the original source material that I don't know. That was a Beetlejuice reference for anybody who cared. Anyway, so it goes on, and after Help Wanted, I'm pretty sure the game that comes after that is Security Breach. Security Breach is fucking awesome. Everybody hates Security Breach. I don't care. I know this is like a bad opinion. Objectively, I am probably wrong, because it came out and it launched with so many fucking bugs. it is not a scary game, okay? It is a open world-esque, like, you find collectibles, you find out the story of what's going on. The story's not the best, but it's so fun. I love exploring the Pizzaplex. I know this is not a, like, loved opinion, but I really don't care. Anyway, you explore the Pizzaplex, and you find, like, a variety of things. You find notes and shit, and, like, you play as Gregory, who's this snot-nosed little kid who's just there for some reason, and Freddy is on the stage, and he's not evil because he had a malfunction, and it's theorized that Michael, the dead Michael from the previous games, is haunting Freddy, but he doesn't know, and I don't care. Gregory's the kid you play as. He's like, there's a bad security guard. We gotta kill her. Let's kill this woman. Let's kill the white woman. Kill the white woman. And so Freddy's like, yes, Gregory, let's kill the white woman. And so they run along. They kill all of Freddy's friends who are actively trying to kill Gregory, that are like all possessed by Vanessa, the security guard, who's like a grown random white woman. How does she have the power of possession? We'll get to that. One second. Okay. So they go through, and there's so many endings to this game, which I actually really liked. I think I got every single one of the endings, but most of them are not canon, obviously. There's one where they like literally rip Vanessa into 1,000 different pieces, which is gotta be horrific for this little kid. But it's not. He loves it. He watches on with great pride. Then there's one where you go down into the basement, and there's a giant blob, which is like kind of like Ennard, but it's not. And also there's a actual bodied version of Springtrap again, who's Burn Trap. Dude, I don't know if any of that shit's real. It's like actually comic book pages, but I don't know if there's actually a Burn Trap down there. It's whatever. Vanessa is Vanny, who's this white rabbit killer. She is the villain in the game, but she is genuinely in the game for maybe 3 minutes. In this game that I spent like 25 hours in, I saw her 3 minutes in total. Stupid ass. I hate Vanessa. I hate Vanny. I hate stupid random white woman. It's dumb. Oh my god, I've got to make 2 of these. Jesus Christ. So, it's whatever. Vanny's... She's got some funny lines, but that's really it. The good ending, you free Vanny. Oh, the reason she's evil is because she's got that Springtrap mind virus that we saw in Help Wanted in her brain. She's who you play as in Help Wanted 1. And she gets, like, possessed, and that's why she makes Springtrap down below. That's why she's trying to kill you. That's why everything's possessed in the Pizzaplex, except for Freddy for some reason. That's never elaborated on. And whatever. Zip, zam, boom. Whatever. So, what else even happens? I think that's kind of it. There's some secret, like, audio tapes you can find. There's theories that Gregory's actually a robot, which we'll get into in a second. Nothing really else of importance or happiness comes from this. I like Sun and Moon. They are probably important. And then Scott Cawthon decides he's going to shit himself live on camera, and that's when he makes Secret of the Mimic. Secret of the Mimic is a better version of Security Breach. I love Secret of the Mimic. It's an objectively fun game to play. People, I think, agree with me more on this one than they agree with me on Security Breach, but I have a lot of fun playing Secret of the Mimic. I've played through it twice. I think I have like 16 hours in a game. I've had a lot of fun playing that game, but it's not everyone's favorite. I like it. Story-wise, it tells a complete departure from everything else. It goes completely on the story of, hey, there's something mimicking Michael Afton. What is that? Why is that? How is that? And that's fine. That's what I... Wait. Oh, no. Guys, I messed up. Shit. This might actually not be a good mess up. I got it. I did it on both of them. So, let's see if this happens again. Got it. What the skibbity? So, it goes on a completely different story of how there's this little guy who's named Edwin. He made the mimic. It was difficult to put them together. It was difficult to put the pieces together. Where the fuck am I supposed to put this? Oh, got it. He made the mimic, and he made one to mimic his wife who died. And he was just so lonely and so horny, he had to make a mimic of his wife that he eventually grew to love. And it may be possessed by his wife a little bit, but it's mostly just a faulty algorithm that believes it's his wife. And then that mimic definitely killed his son. I know it's like kind of theorized on whether or not she killed the son. She definitely fucking killed the son. Because then the first thing she does after the son is dead, and Edwin, who made the mimic, and it was difficult to put the pieces together, she goes up to him and she's like, "Oh shit, your son's dead. That's so sad. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, should you make a mimic too? This one can be your son. This one can be your son. It's just a son robot." And he's like, "Dude, you're so smart, wife mimic that I have sex with. I will make a mimic of my son." And he does that, and you know what happens? He does it. He fucking makes another mimic, and he doesn't really understand how he made the first one. So making the second one was a lot more difficult. But he eventually gets it, and the mimic starts mimicking his son. Because he made a mimic to mimic his son. I know I'm saying mimic a lot. I need to really drive home this point. He makes a mimic to mimic his son. And then it starts mimicking his son. And he's like, "What the fuck? Don't mimic my son. I love my son. My son is dead. You're not my son. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you with a pipe." And he beats the shit out of it. He kicks that thing around. So what happens when you make a thing that mimics actions, and then you beat the shit out of it, and you teach it violence? Well, it learns violence. That mimic was a little boy that he beat the shit out of. He then learns how to be a full-grown man who likes to beat the shit out of things. And that is the mimic. That is M2. That is the bad thing that you're playing against in Secret of the Mimic. It's coming to kill you because it knows, oh shit, I'm the mimic from Secret of the Mimic. I'm going to kill you because my daddy taught me violence. The DLC for this game hasn't been released yet, so it's a really good game. Let me just talk about that for a second. Collectibles are fun, and I usually don't super like collectibles, but I replayed this entire game just so I could get the secret ending. Secret ending's not really worth it, I'll tell you that, because you go through and you have to collect every single trinket and every single side piece, and then you've got to play like a secondary game that's very lore heavy, but I didn't understand it all. And then you get a 4-second scene where you turn the evil mimic back into little David, who's like what it was meant to be. That's probably not the canon ending. The canon ending is probably the mimic is bad and out, because I mean, we see it mimicking stuff in the future. This is all set in the past, by the way. This entire game is set in the past. I don't know, like the 70s, 60s. Sometime that was a long time ago. So, They also are all like the big thing with Edwin, which is kind of interesting, is he made most of the designs for like most of the Five Nights at Freddy's characters. He was contracted by Freddy's. He's the one possibly who made the spring locks, which completely retcons the entire past. Because the whole reason that Michael kills. No, the whole reason that William kills Henry Emily's daughter is because Henry Emily's creation of the spring locks was made by Henry Emily. So if this random guy Edwin made the spring locks, why the fuck did William kill Henry's kid? It doesn't really make sense. I don't like the retconning. And it pisses me off because Scott Cawthon repeatedly will say that there are not gaps in my story, but there are only gaps in your understanding of my story. Brother, I think you're just delusional. Like, genuinely. And I think you might be on a little bit of a high horse. I just realized that I'm going through most of the talking points in my video that I'm going to make tomorrow, like scattered about and not well done at all. But I'm just not going to have as much fun making this video tomorrow because I'm just going to be re-saying all the shit I'm angry about. Actually, maybe I'll be more angry about it. Maybe this is the perfect concoction. We've also had pretty good turnout tonight. I've seen like 6 people at a time in here. Pretty happy with that. I like when you guys talk to me too. If you guys have something to say, you guys want to see something, if you want me to shut up for a second and just listen to me build, I will also do that. I wonder if that withered Bonnie guy will come back to watch the video. I hope he will. What else happens? Oh, also, Fiona, who is the mother of David. Oh, I've got to talk about that. Shit. Anyway, Fiona made most of the characters as well. So, like, William, Afton, and Henry Emily did not do shit. They own the business, but objectively, they did so little for it that I don't really know what their contributions were at all. Nobody really does. And it's kind of theorized that they didn't really do anything and somehow they got a very profitable business. Which is like a story of capitalism, and I think that's kind of interesting. But also, what the fuck was the point of Henry then if both of you just fuck off and do nothing? Henry's supposed to be the smart one. So it's whatever. Anyway, what I was going to say though, with David, is remember how earlier I explained the crying child who might be named Evan or Dave or something. And he dies. And William says, I will put you back together. There are theories out there where people genuinely believe, and I can't really discredit them for genuinely believing this because it might be true, that Dave, the crying child, might be David the mimic who we fix up to be the good version of the little boy again. And William Afton comes across it because that's why you get set into the facility in the first place, is because you're trying to find the information for William and Fazbear Entertainment, blah, blah, blah. That he found the mimic as a baby again, and he took it home, and he raised it. Which retroactively would retcon retroactively, big words there, huh? The entire series. And it would put so little, like, emphasis on why anything matters. Like, you killing your brother doesn't matter if your brother is a fucking mimic the whole time that isn't real. That's stupid. And also, why would William care that much enough to take the life of an actual child? And it would just completely destroy the entire story. For me, personally, I think it's stupid and honestly one of the biggest retcons that you could do. Whatever, though. What the fuck? Oh. We're almost done with bag 1. And I think I'm going to probably wrap it up there once I'm done with bag 1. Like, I realized I just have it under the table this whole time. This is not good Lego making content. It's mostly just me talking to the camera. Oh, that was disgusting. I'm sorry. Nobody clipped that. What else? Oh, the mimic could also potentially be Gregory, which, if it's Gregory, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. If it's Dave the Crying Kid, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. I don't know. There's a part in what's it called? Security Breach, where Gregory finds new eyes, or not finds, but he kills Roxy for new eyes for Freddy. And he gives it to him, and Freddy's like, Gregory, you look very different now. Which could just be because he, like, can see through a skeleton, or see, like, into a skeleton, which would make sense somewhat. But it would also make more sense if he was a robot, because Gregory's a weird kid that has no, like, nobody knows about him. He doesn't have parents. He is just kind of there. He might be a patient on, like, tapes for therapy. It's so whatever. I would care less if Gregory turned out to be the mimic. I think that would kind of tie things together a little bit more. But if it turns out Dave the Crying Kid is the mimic, I'm gonna lose my freaking marbles. I think that would be so stupid. Oh, look at that. We have successfully made the base. I spent how long have I been streaming for? An hour and 30 minutes to make this, and this. But I've explained basically all of the FNAF lore in an hour and 30 minutes. There was a lot of ums. There was a lot of making fun of it. Objectively, probably wasn't the best of streams. Why are there feathers? Hold on a second. Why? Oh my god, I missed a feather. Guys, bag one's not done yet. I missed a feather on Aloy's little doodad. How could I? I have so many leftover pieces. Look at all this. That's a lot. From bag one, I feel like I probably missed even more. These are such cool. Again, I'm so glad to be. Where's the robo giraffe? Fuck off. I just finished bag 1 of 8. Jesus Christ. I don't know. Should I keep going? I need community outreach here. I've got nothing else to do. It's 12 on a Friday night. Do I make the bag number 2? I don't have as much to talk about if I do, but I can do that. I can lock in for a second, maybe make some good Lego ASMR. I need at least one person to respond. I don't know. Bro, there's 2 other people in the chat. Somebody tell me if I keep going or not. I can keep going. Also, here's my bag of random assorted Lego pieces. But what away? Nobody's talking. Let's see. Okay, wait, okay. Let's see. How much is in bag 2? That's a small bag. I say, fuck it, we ball. We're gonna make a small bag. So we can actually maybe get somewhere. It's stop talking as much. I'm just gonna be a lot less entertaining. This is gonna be loud. For those who are here, how are we liking the stream? How are we liking... Are we fucking with it? Do we think this is fun? Entertaining at all? Any pointers, tips, tricks? I'm really only talking to one person here, but that's okay. One person that'll respond, I suppose. They're not clicking together very well. Like, I keep going to hard to see Lego. That's so true. You know what? Yeah. Maybe if I put it flat down. How's that? I think that'll be better. What about what I'm talking about? Like, I know it's been very iffy, but is it at all engaging? I'm just trying to get general opinions. Why is it so dark? Oh. Have identical pieces, but also they're not the right ones. One set is a lot better than the other. Everyone left. I know. I stopped talking about Five Nights at Freddy's. Holy shit, one came back. The people yearn for FNAF at Freddy's. The thing is there's no more games to talk about. So, like, do I just start making up FNAF? So then, there was a fifth mimic. In the fifth mimic, this one was a gay mimic. And it, like, boys. FNAF AR, ew. Ew. I also know very little about FNAF AR. It is stinky. That's what I remember from it. I downloaded it, cause shit, it had to have been like 2020 when it came out. And I remember being like, damn, even for the time, it was not good AR capabilities. Like, it just was not working with my phone at all. And also, I had a shitty phone. So that might not be the problem of FNAF AR. But, I'll never know. So I'm going to blame it on FNAF AR. Tie-dye Lady Liberty Chica something. Yeah, I don't fuck with it. They just started making stuff, and I think half of FNAF AR was literally just so that they could sell more things. Like, and it wasn't even good marketable things, it was just, what if we fucking made Nightlight Foxy? Everybody, show of hands, who cares about Nightlight Foxy? 3 people in here. Nobody cares about fucking Nightlight Foxy. I do like the... No, don't... Put your hand down. I like a lot of the marketable things for FNAF, though. Recently, I've been looking into a lot of the U2s. They've been making some killer U2s of Five Nights at Freddy's. Like, I really want the Withered Bonnie one. I know whenever the Withered Bonnie guy was here for a little bit, I went a little bit into how much I love Withered Bonnie, but I fucking... Sick design. Glowing red eyes through a broken off skull. And I know it's just like a animatronic, so it's not actually his skull, but it's still his skull. I don't care. Where is this piece? I feel like Dora the Explorer. Oh shit, found it. I wish I could speak Spanish like Dora. I took full two U2's beef from Dispatch. Yeah. Yeah, I want. Wait. Did they release a beef? Did U2's release a beef? The only reason I haven't bought any U2's for Five Nights at Freddy's is for one reason, and that is it would take months to get here, and by the time it's here, I feel like I wouldn't care about it anymore, and that makes me sad. Even though I'm pretty sure I probably would care about it. Pre-order right now. Shit, I might have to look at the U2's beef. I don't care about him as much, but I think he is a fun little character. I really hope they come out with season 2 of Dispatch. I heard some people vaguely mention it in like some YouTube shorts or some shit, and I'm not really listening whenever I'm scrolling on YouTube shorts, as most people aren't. But I would love a season 2. I don't care if I have to put the same amount of money for even less content of a game. It was such a well-made game that I would pay that much more. I think I'm actually starting to build something now. I think I've got a rock going on right now. Look at that. That's a pretty killer rock. What? What? Oh, shit. Oh, that fills in right there. That's pretty cool. I had a gap right there that was kind of annoying me, and I was afraid it wasn't going to get filled. Thought I messed something up, but nope. We're good. We're Gucci. Yeah, I think it is a plushie. If it's the one I'm thinking of that I saw like very briefly, I don't know. Their stuff is so high quality, and I remember people said something about they're not like ethical or something. I don't know. All I know is a lot of their designs are cute as hell. That's all I know, and I want some of them. There was a little bit of time recently whenever the Powerball was happening, and the Powerball reached like $1 billion, and everyone and their grandma, including me, went and wanted to like win $1 billion. Of course, like $1 billion is $1 billion. And I was like, man, what would I do with $1 billion if I had it right now? Like, nobody's ethical nowadays. So true. So true. What would I do with $1 billion? And all I could think about at the time was I would buy like all of the U2s, like every single one of them. That's it. That's all I had. Like a house would be nice, but I don't know what house I want right now. I'd put that shit in a fund to give me, and they'd invest it correctly and whatever. Anyway, the point of the matter is I'm going to tell you now a story of me trying to purchase my first Powerball, which was a Corgi? Oh my god, I would buy a Corgi. Buying my first Powerball was one of the most embarrassing experiences of my life. Because my girlfriend goes and she tells me that I've got to buy one. I have no fucking earthly idea where one buys a Powerball. But I was like, sure. And I'm like, I think the gas station has it. So I go in the gas station, and I see the, like, stand, the Powerball stand. And I thought you had to buy them on, like, a machine, like a touchscreen machine. So I saw this guy standing, and everybody wants a Powerball at this time. And it's this old man, and he's standing at this machine, and I see something that says Powerball right next to it, and I'm like, that's the Powerball machine. I'm just going to wait here. This guy takes like 6 minutes on this machine. I'm like, damn, how many fucking Powerballs are you buying, dude? And eventually, he goes, and he's done, and I go to it, and I'm like, dude, I've got no idea what I'm doing. I start clicking on numbers. There's like a dial pad, and I start clicking on numbers, and I say buy or purchase, something like that. And it says, put in your info. Like, put in your security code. Put in your security code. Okay? I put in my social security code. Because I'm like, maybe that's how lotteries work. Maybe you've got to put in your social security to be able to purchase something related to the lottery. And it's like, okay, now that you've put in your security code, put in your card. I put in my debit card. Okay, so do I buy it now? Then it says withdraw or deposit. And I look up and I realize I'm standing at a fucking ATM machine that I just put my social security into, and now I don't know what to do. So I exit out of it, and I do everything to, like, keep clicking the cancel button, because I'm like, I don't know if I just gave someone my fucking social security number. I don't know what's happening. I keep clicking cancel. I'm like, okay. I look over. That Powerball stand that I was talking about is right next to me. And it's got all of the, like, loose leaf cards. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've told you this story. It's got all of the loose leaf cards of Powerball. I'm like, okay, I guess shit, I gotta, like, write something on here. I grab one, and I grab one of those little pencils, and there's, like, rows and rows of numbers, and, like, pick 4, pick a special number, something like that. And I'm so overwhelmed, and I just put my fucking social security number into this. I just sit there, and I start getting freaked out. And I look over at the cashier, and I'm like, shit, I'm going to have to go up to the cashier. And I go up there, and I bring the Powerball thing with me. I say, hey, man, I have no fucking earthly idea what I'm doing. Could you help me? I need a Powerball. He's like, yeah, how many you want? I said, 2. Okay. Put in your, tap your card. I tapped my card. He gave it to me. It was a 2-second process that resulted in me putting in my fucking social security number into an ATM and looking like an idiot. It took me, I was in that store for 20 minutes for something that genuinely took me 2 seconds to do. Top 3 most brain out of skull moments I've ever had in my life. And then immediately after, because I was sad and I felt bad about myself, I went to the McDonald's right there. And the McDonald's person was kind of a dick. I don't even remember what happened, but I remember it upset me enough after the situation that I felt like I needed to mention it. Again, I'm not proud of that moment. And I apologize to anyone who had respect for me that just lost a little bit of it. Or a lot of bit of it. ATMs do not normally ask for your social. That's the best part, is I don't think the ATM was asking for my social security number. It just asked for my security code, which I don't know what that was, and I didn't want to ask anybody because I was embarrassed. Like, if I wanted to ask someone, I would have had my Powerball ticket a lot faster, but I didn't want to because asking people is scary, especially the gas station people. So I just didn't do that. And I put in probably my banking number. Yeah, no, that's definitely what it was asking for. I don't know, I got scared. So I did what anybody would do, and I put in my social security number. Again, I'm not telling this story because it paints me in a good or smart light. I'm telling it because it's kind of funny. And a little concerning. I'm going to definitely be one of those people that fall for scams when I'm older. Like, 100%. It's so common now that whenever... Like, I won't fall for AI. I'm pretty confident in that. Like, that's half of my degree, is ensuring that I don't fall for anything that's AI related. And that I understand what I'm looking at. But... if somebody is to call me or text me and be like, oh my god, your banking information's been compromised. You gotta tell me your banking information if you want to not be compromised. Dude, I might do it. There was the other day, my school had a scam against it that it like basically told everyone in the school that their account was going to be deleted soon, and it looked. Oh, I don't want to say it looked official because it didn't, but let's just say I take 2 trainings a year on how not to fall for phishing scams, and I almost fell for this phishing scam. I had to reach out to everyone I knew who went to school with me and be like, hey, did you get this email too? Is this bullshit? And everyone's like, yeah, it's bullshit, obviously. I mean, look at it. And I felt so silly because I was pretty sure it wasn't real, but there was a small part of me that made me have to reach out to everyone, you know? It was enough of me to be worried. I think my streaming might also be better if I was playing a game, so I could comment on the game. There's not much to comment on when I'm making Legos. Like, I'm having a blast right now. But part of me is thinking, what if I'm not being entertaining enough? And that's not fun. Play Overwatch. Okay, I'm not playing Overwatch right now. I would fucking lose my brain cells. I don't know how. I didn't really go into depth on how bad the setting up my mic thing was. But genuinely, bro, I had the biggest crash out I've ever had in my life trying to set up this stream. And I think if I were to play a game where I were to lose right now, I would cry on stream and like, I don't know, poop my pants or something. It wouldn't be good. Hell no, dude. I deleted Baldur's Gate again. I re-downloaded it. I spent 130 gigabytes to re-download it. Got fully re-downloaded it, and then I deleted it again because I was too overwhelmed. There's so much going on in that game. I didn't say it was bad. Baldur's Gate, objectively, is probably a game I would love and is a good game. That's why it won Game of the Year. You know what? If you're going to lambast me about games, play E33, motherfucker. That game is peak. I still need to fully finish it, but I've got like 47 hours or something in it. And I just keep playing it. The problem is I'm at a point where I'm at the final boss, like final secret, super cool, epic boss. You got TikTok brain and can't handle the role-playing game. I'm playing on the Fallout. Give me a few years and I'll... Bro. Whatever, bro. Whatever. Well, in a few years when you decide to finally check out Expedition 33 and you freak out because I was right and it's one of the best games, I can't wait for that. I was thinking about making a video on Expedition 33. Like, I've been trying to make... trying to think of video ideas recently, and it's been difficult. Like, I spent 2 hours making the outline for the script for my next video, and I think it's pretty good. I ended on it on a note that I'm pretty happy with, but I don't know. It was a lot of ranting, which was what tonight was. Like, I just sat here and I ranted for... It's going to be 2 hours by the time I'm done. I'm almost done. Oh my god. But I want to make a video that I'm actually happy with at the end. This is so weird. Like, the live... What? What are you making? Oh, shit. Wait, do you read chat? I do read chat. Hello there. I am making... Where's the box? There we go. I'm making this from Horizon Zero Dawn. And I was talking about FNAF lore for, like, 2 hours, it I'm done talking about FNAF lore now because I went through all of it and it was mostly me ranting. Yeah, this is one of my dream sets of all time. I got it off Mercari for like $102 because, but like that's really not that bad. It's a retired set, so me getting it for $102 is not crazy price. And I've been kind of obsessed with Lego recently, so where am I putting this? I say as I'm far out. That's far out. That's deer. What does that mean? Oh, also behind me, I've got a bunch of like different Legos that me and my girlfriend have built, and I have built. Upstairs, I've got a loot llama from Fortnite, but I've also got Banana Peely up there. I've got the Hogwarts castle. I've got the bugs, the crafting table, the botanical. I've got the geodes and stuff. Yeah, dude, the prices have gotten kind of crazy. I'll say that I was so excited for them to release the Pokemon, because they just got the licensing for Pokemon, and I saw that it was going to be like $600. I was like, man, that's a lot of money. But I love Pokemon, and if they do it right, I might buy it once I've got big boy money. Then I saw the sets, and I'm so disappointed with it. For $650, cars or spaceships, that's completely fair. I think most of them are like $30 to $50 sets, from what I've seen. I'm not a big car guy, especially not like building wise. But I think if you display them correctly, it's the cars and spaceships are some of like the coolest ones. I want more of the Star Wars spaceships because those are just sick builds. The problem is they're like the most expensive builds. Star Wars has 1 billion things and is so expensive because of it. But maybe one day, maybe when I get some big boy money here soon, I say like give me a year and you'll come back and I've got like everyone. Bro, Temu it? Or do they actually sell? Oh no, they like 100 to 600. Jesus, does Temu actually sell like actual products? Because I've never used Temu. It scares me. I think my mom was on it for a while, and she bought me a bunch of stuff that was very off-brand and made by little children, clearly. I did not know that they actually sold Legos, though. I might have to look into that. What's the best set that you've gotten from Temu? That Temu sells. Oh, the off-brand Lego. Honestly, that's not bad for like the cars. Some of the other off-brand Legos I'm iffy about, but some of them can look really good. Like I think I've seen a lot of the car sets. Shit. Let me see. We have some off-brand Legos from. We've got these two ducks, which are they're not bad. They were a pain in the ass to build, but they're not bad. And we've got a bunch of plants somewhere. I've got one right here, which I like this one. It's got like a little tails coming off of it. It's cute. It's nice for the bookshelf. That's what most of the Legos are at this point. Are very expensive, details for a bookshelf. And you weren't here for it, but thank you. You weren't here for it, but this shelf is my real life Lego set that I made. It's not really a Lego set. I just handmade this entire shelf, and I'm very proud of it. I did it for Christmas as a big Christmas gift, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. And I kind of want to make more like a bookshelf or desk. It's a bookshelf. I can maybe show it in a second when I'm done with this bag, because I'm probably done after this bag. But I would like to see you come back. Like, I'm planning on streaming a lot more. And I mean, everybody's planning on streaming a lot more. That's what everybody says. But I gotta start making actual content. Come on. And streaming, I think, would be a fun way to do it. Thank you for coming in and actually chatting, though. I've had some of my friends that I know come in and chat, but this is the first time that a random person's really like talking. I mean, Legos are good for bookshelves or yeah, no, they're great for bookshelves or desks. I want like when I'm older to have a full room that is just basically Legos and other irresponsible purchases. That is my goal in life. That would be so cool. No one chat game and chatted. I mean, someone. It's mostly been my friends coming in and chatted. But I did have one person that was here for the FNAF talk, and they sat in for like half an hour just listening to me talk about FNAF, and that was pretty nice. I'm also planning on probably streaming tomorrow and Sunday because I'm home alone for the next 2 days, and I'm gonna be bored as hell, and I want to finish this Lego set. I've got 6 more bags, so I think I'm gonna save maybe 2 a night. I might do 3. No, I'll do 3 the next 2 days. That's what I meant. I would love to see all of you come back. I had a great time streaming tonight. Thank you for everybody who came in and actually like sat with me and talked to me. And thank you for the new guy, Frizz, for coming in and talking to me. How old are you? I thought you were like late 20, lol. I'm 21. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. Oh yeah, no. I love to read chat. I love to actually like interact. This is so cool that you're actually interacting. Again, I'd love to see you all tomorrow. I'm probably gonna wrap up tonight. Not sure what time I'm gonna stream tomorrow. I might do it multiple times. I need to make the Five Nights at Freddy's video, and then I need to what else? I need to make the Five Nights at Freddy's video, and I need to edit it, and then later on I'll probably stream because this is pretty chill. Might have some music on tomorrow. I'm trying to just get better. Okay. Well, sad just seeing you. Dead chats. Yeah, it is kind of sad seeing dead chats. But tomorrow will hopefully be a better day. And every day you're consistent is a better day. So, thank you all for stopping by. Have a good night. Hope to see you all tomorrow. Goodbye. Oh.